All right. Hey everybody. In this tutorial, I am going to cover how you can use the API in order to have your bot reach out to the API and get a random number. So let's go ahead and begin. So first thing first, we're going to say, let's create a new flow and we'll call this flow random number. Okay. And then next, what we're going to do is we're going to ask questions. And so the way that this flow is going to work is it's going to start off with asking somebody, what is the starting number that you want to get a random number from? And what is the ending number, right? So let's say that we pick a number between 250 and 1,000. Um, so what's going to happen is we're going to ask them, they're going to get the numbers, and then it's going to send it to the API. So let's start off with here. Oh, actually, this will not work. Let's get rid of this guy here because we need to ask them for the question. So say, hello, please enter the starting number. And this is going to be a number. And we're going to store it in a custom user field, and we'll call it custom field number one. And this is a new custom field. And this is going to be a number. And we just created it. Okay, and then we're going to ask for a second number. And it's going to say, great, please enter the ending number. And again, this is a number. And we're going to create a new custom field. We'll call this one custom field 2. And we'll make sure that we store that as a number. Great. Then we're going to send that information over um, to the API. So first thing first is we're going to need a address and we're going to need a token because all of our API calls need to be authenticated. So we'll go ahead and come back to this in a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get a token. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and scan this and hopefully my browser will pick it up and we'll go from there. So great, there it is. So let's go ahead and move this out of the way. And we'll come here and there it is. And we're going to say, get me my free account. I want to sign up. Hit next. My email. No, I don't want to change anything. I do want the free plan. And let's go ahead and get that token. Okay, so here are two pieces that we need. We need the token to authenticate, and we need the URL address. So let's go ahead and start off with this. And we'll come back here. And we're going to say, here's the address. And we're going to need a random number that's going to be made up of 2. And what are the 3 things that we're going to use? We're going to need the first number or the starting number, which we put it into a custom field called custom field 1. And then we need the ending number, which we put into another field called custom field 2. And then we need to put the random number that the engine generates and we need to put it into something. So let's go ahead and call it custom field total. And then in the request header, we need to put authorization and we need to get this token right here. and we're going to put it so that it authenticates right here. And then we need to send information to the API. Like we're going to need to send this field and this field. So for the sake of time, we'll just say send the data. All right. And right now we can't test it because there's no numbers inside of the custom field. So we just created it and it's right now it's null, it's 0. So if we were to test it right now, it would fail. But we will definitely need to come back and make sure that we create this custom field, which is called CF total. So let's do that. All right, so now we have our dynamic content created. Now what we need to do is we need to come back here and we need to say, all right, you got the number, now I want to display it. So we will come and say, um, hello, the first number and second number entered are, and then we're going to go ahead and put in the first custom field. That was the first number. And then the second number, and that one is going to be CF2. And the third number, or should I say, and the random number. So here, we're not going to find it. So what we need to do is we need to go and create it. So let's go back to settings, and we'll say custom fields, new user field, and we'll call this one CF total. And it's a number. And that's it. So now we'll go back to our flow, back to our random number, and here we should now find it where it says CF total. And there it is. Okay, so in a nutshell, what it's going to do is it's going to ask somebody or anybody, what is the starting number? What is the ending number? It's going to send it to the API engine, and then it's going to come back and it's going to put that random number into the custom field called CF total. And what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to take a decision, or you can make it so that it can um, calculate taxes if you use the multiplication one. Um, so you can do a lot of things with this and store it in your custom fields without having to use any spreadsheets or have to pay Zapier or anything like that. This is all a custom API call. You get your math calculation back, and you continue building your bot. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. We'll say publish, and then let's go ahead and preview. And yes, I want to connect to it. All right. So here's the bot says, hello, please enter the starting number. So we talked about in the beginning that we would start off with 250. All right. And let's add the second number, which will make it 1000. And it responded and says, hello, the first number and second number entered are first number 250, second number 1000, and the random number was 322. So the other thing as well is that now that we tested it and we were to come over here, we can now say test request, and it should give us a 200, which there it is, it worked. And you can see that it stored it in a custom field as CF1, CF2, and your total of 322. So this is another great example of how you can simplify your bot building by using API calls instead of having to manage and connect the the bot to a spreadsheet. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, definitely reach me or reach us at ManyChat, or you can even get reach us at the Bot as a Service community group where we are constantly discussing other projects that involve, advancing the bot building. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks again. Talk to you soon.